Zach Clay is from British Columbia.
And I believe today he's going to be competing in the all-around.
So at this World Championships, 3 athletes are allowed to compete per country.
Per apparatus.
Per apparatus.
That's correct.
So, yep, we are live. For those of you just joining us now, we are live at the 2017 World Championships in Montreal at the Olympic Stadium. I'm alongside Cody Casey. I am Brittany Rogers, and we are super excited to be here. We are waiting for Zach Clay to salute to the judges on floor.
On y va.
The crowd is alive here tonight. Super exciting.
Beautiful double layout mount. Arabian double front half out.
Awesome landing so far for Zach. Front layout, front double, small hop, awesome.
All good, stable landings, though. There's this Japanese handstand. That's a requirement. Wow.
A little bit of a short landing for Zach. He unfortunately had to put his hands down. He is heading into his final pass. Back 2.5
stuck. Oh,
nice.
That's a shame.
Yeah, nice finish for Zach, though.
Good solid landings right before that.
So like we said earlier, Zach is our all-around competitor for Canada tonight. So making up the deficits in the next few events will be very key for him.
Absolutely.
So in this subdivision, we actually have a very packed subdivision. We are here with Japan, China, Russia, Canada. Those are just to name a few. Those are the powerhouses we are seeing tonight. So we have a packed evening for everybody. Waiting now for Zach's score, and Renee will be up next on floor.
Le prochain compétiteur au sol, René Cournoyer de Repentigny, Québec, au Club Gymnica.
Zach's score on floor, the difficulty was a 5.2, execution 7.3, total score is a 12.5 for Zach. So like I said, he is all-around competitor, so he will be able to make that up with the next 5 events.
René, c'est une gymnaste très puissante, avec une bonne style à tous les éléments. On y commence.
Hometown hero, I would say. Crowd is going wild for him.
La première ligne, c'est double front salto. Très bien. Arabian double groupé avec une front clapée enchaînée. C'est très difficile, ça.
Very powerful gymnast.
Double V-demi, un petit pas en avant. Ça, c'est un V-demi enchaîné avec une front V-demi. Très bien. C'est les éléments en équilibre. Ça, c'est une exigence. Bon. Fini pour la sortie. Full in double back. C'est une pas à la sortie de la ligne. Ça, c'est une déduction des points 1, mais c'est une bonne performance pour le premier appareil.
Yeah, great performance for Renee. The crowd is loving it. You see smiles from him and his coach.
Le coach est très content. Jean-Sébastien Tougas. On attend pour les notes.
As we're waiting for Renee's score here, we are waiting for Scott Morgan to start on floor now. A very sad story for Scott. He is mourning the loss of his father, who passed away just 3 weeks ago. They made a GoFundMe account for Scott and his family to fund the trip for his family to come and watch Scott here. It's actually his dad's hometown, so it's a very special World Championships for him. We feel for Scott, and we know that his dad is looking down on him and with him every step of the way. So rooting for Scott as always, and we know he's going to make his country and his dad proud tonight.
And I know the support must have been overwhelming from him, from all the athletes and coaches and from
Absolutely.
Gymnastics Canada. So we're all on his side.
Yeah. Scott, of course, was the sole competitor for the 2016 Rio Olympic Games, where he did compete floor, rings, and vault. So this is his next big competition after following the games, and I'm excited to see what he is going to perform tonight.
Floor exercise is a strength for him, wouldn't you say, Brittany?
Floor exercise, yes, definitely. He's definitely not an all-around competitor. He specializes on floor, rings, and vaults, but he has amazing power for such a petite guy. He
Power-packed.
explodes. It's amazing. Yeah.
He's looking to make a final on this apparatus. As we await the score for Rene Konoye. La note finale pour René Konoye, c'est 12.033. Avec une note de départ de 4.7, puis la penalty pour la sortie de ligne au dernier pass. Okay,
Green light for Scott Morgan. He salutes to the judges.
here we go.
Awesome crowd here tonight.
Really energetic.
Beautiful.
Double layout with a full twist. Full front 2.5.
Step out of bounds.
Did
which
he
will
step
cost
out?
him 1/10. Still a strong pass for him.
Nice double layout.
Amazing.
Incredible upper body strength. Nailed that landing. Front double full to front half.
Solid performance by Scott so far. He's heading into his last pass. Strong routine. A full end tuck. Beautiful. He will be extremely happy with that performance. Wow.
What a great way to start his competition.
Absolutely. High five from his coach, Valley Stan. They train out of North Vancouver, British Columbia at Flicka Gymnastics. I was lucky enough to train alongside of him in gearing up towards the 2012 Olympic Games, and he is just such a tremendously hard worker, and it's hard not to enter the day in the gym without hearing his laugh and an infectious smile. It's a great treat training beside Scott.
All of these gymnasts are so dedicated to commit all the hours and years and hard work for moments like these.
And so special being in the home country of Canada and hearing the support from the crowd. It's really special.
Absolutely.
Floor score for Scott Morgan is a 14-0. That puts him in 10th place in the third subdivision. Shifting things over to high bar, we have Romania up there right now as Team Canada has finished their floor showing and waiting to rotate over to Pommel horse.
On the high bar now, this is Andrei Groza of Romania. That was an Ono spin. Oh, just Salter Tkachev, and he's down. Oh, he appears hurt.
Medical staff is treating him right now.
Oh, that was a tough fall. You know, gymnastics is so difficult nowadays. The amount of risk that they're taking on each and every shot is is huge. And as they attend to Groza, we're going to shift over to the Pommel horse. This is Richard Strams of Latvia.
Answering to YouTube, the gym specialist asked if this channel will be streaming for the WAG quals. That is correct. We will be here tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, streaming live with the Canadian girls.
There's this Russian series on the end. Magyar travel. And Savado back. Slight leg separation in the back. That'll cost him a little bit. To the handstand. A small hop on the landing. Decent rhythm throughout. Some noticeable mistakes. But overall, a decent performance.
Unfortunately, Groza, the one who sustained the injury off high bar, is still on the mat, but medics are taking good care of him. So there will be a slight delay in the next rotation.
Just waiting for the score for Richard Strams. And the score comes up. It's a 12.966. Difficulty 5.6. So what I'll do is I'll leave this here and we can
So for those asking for the live scoring, there is. If you go onto the FIG official website, there's live scoring there from the men's subdivision 3. We're still waiting to get more clarification on the injury sustained on high bar and rotate to the next event. I believe we have one more competitor on high bar after they are cleared up here.
Medical team is well versed on all the practices. They were running safety drills all this week in preparation for this competition. So for sure they're in good hands.
I believe the official start lists are also on the FIG website if you want to check that and see where your favorite competitors and favorite countries are starting.
While we're waiting for them to attend to Andre, we can catch you up on some recent results. The men's all-around is currently led by Manrique Lardouet of Cuba with an 86.699. Following him is defending Olympic silver medalist Oleg Vernayev of Ukraine at 85.431. And in third place from the United States, Yul Moldauer, 84.331.
And don't forget, that is just with 2 subdivisions. I believe we have this and 2 more subdivisions to go to get the final results after qualifications, heading into all-around finals and event finals later this week.
It seems this World Championships has started off in fine fashion with these high scores. I know that anything above an 84 to 85 is very solid in the new code of points.
Yeah, the new code of points, there's definitely been some decrease in scoring. Like I mentioned, if anyone were to watch the Facebook video, I said that they were less the start values will be lower just because the special requirements aren't as strong anymore and we don't require as many. So the same goes with the guys. They are required to do 4 special requirements instead of 5, so therefore they have a difficulty score that is 5/10 lower than what it normally would be.
And that accounts for the 3 points overall in difference of scores, for sure. And as we're still waiting for medical clearance, I'll go ahead with a few more current results that we have. On the floor exercise, Donnell Wittenberg of the United States leads the way with a huge 15.033. Second place is Yul Moldauer of the United States as well with a 14.7. And third is Artem Dolgopyat of Israel, 14.666.
So in order to qualify to event finals, we can have top 2 per country. So looking at the results of the Pommel horse, there were 3 Americans in the top 4. However, only 2 can advance to finals due to the 2 per country rule.
That's right, Brittany. Oh, so correction, that was the floor exercise results.
Floor exercise.
Yeah. But you're absolutely right. Only 2 per country can advance to the final. The Pommel horse results. After Subdivision 2, Max Whitlock of Great Britain is at a 15.3.
Defending Olympic champion on that event.
Yeah, he's absolutely incredible and obviously showed up in Montreal in fine form. In second place, Alexander Nador of the United States with a 14.966. And in third is Oleg Vernayev of Ukraine with a 14.733. So this is a really high-scoring event, I'd say, Brittany.
Absolutely. We are getting a applause from the crowd as the medical staff have lifted the athlete from the mat and are taking him into care right now.
We sure hope he's okay. Sometimes the measures that they're taking, they are precautionary, but you can't be too sure sometimes.
We do have one more competitor on high bar from Dominican Republic.
And we'll continue with some more results here on the rings. Leading the rings competition is Eleftherios Petrounias of Greece with a 15.4. Second place, Courtney Tulloch from Great Britain with a 14.766. And in third is Igor Radvilov of Ukraine with a 14.733. For the vault, our current leader is Igor Radvilov of Ukraine with an average of 14.670. Standing in second place at this point is Jorge Vega Lopez from Guatemala with a 14.616. And in third is Eddie Penev of the United States with a 14.5. I think we're ready for our final competitor on the high bar. This looks to be Odris Nin Reyes of Dominican Republic. And that's got to be hard, Brittany, to follow someone who's had a major fall.
It is, and I know when I compete, I like to turn away from the accident and continue to focus on what I need to do. And sometimes you do have to wait around for a bit, and we do practice that in training. It's definitely something that you can't really predict, and you don't wish upon anybody, but it's very important to stay warm and stay focused on your job so another injury doesn't unfold.
Let's see if he's done just that. Stoop full.
Winding up for a release move here.
Full twisting Kovacs. A little close, but he continued through with good rhythm. And there's his Coleman, laid out Coleman. That one was even.
A little bit of a struggle on the release catch, but still managed to swing the giant over once he caught.
Layout Tkachev, followed by a straddle Tkachev, caught in mixed grip.
And a strong double layout to finish with a little bit of a low landing. He did a great job pulling himself together with such a long wait. I know it's very difficult as an athlete to wait after something traumatic has happened, but he did a great job, and I'm sure he's very relieved to get through that routine. I believe this wraps up the first rotation of Subdivision 3. We will be moving on with Canada to Pommel Horse, and we will see our next three competitors as we rotate. We are back warming up for the second event. Like I said, Canada is on Pommel horse. They share the event with China, so China will go first and Canada will follow.
On y commence la 12e rotation avec Canada au arçon. Le gymnaste canadien est passé après le gymnaste de Chine. As the gymnasts continue to finish their warm-up, we can look at the current results on the parallel bars. In first place right now is Oleg Vernayev of Ukraine with a 15.466. In second is Manrique Lardouet of Cuba with a 15.2. And in third is Marcel Nguyen of Germany with a 14.933.
So on Pommel horse, we can expect to see Jackson Payne up first for Canada, following Zachary Clay next.
Thierry Pellerin
Will be third.
And it looks like they're getting ready to begin. Our first Chinese gymnast is Lin Xiaopan. Excellent scissor series. There's his single pommel work into a tong fei. He moves really quickly through his triple Russian sequence. Excellent amplitude. Up to the dismount. Great performance for Lin Xiaopan of China.
So during the duration of this competition, we will be following closely to Canada's events. We will update you as best we can with the others and give you scores as they come.
Next up for China on Pommel horse is Xiao Roteng. The Chinese are historically known for their excellent swing on this event.
Beautiful athletes to watch, both in the men and women.
Absolutely. Score for Lin Xiaopan, 13.833. Here we go with Xiao Roteng. Beautiful scissor sequence up to handstands. Here's his quadruple Russian sequence. Great extension and rhythm on his Magyar Savado travel.
Beautiful finish.
Another excellent routine by China.
On the other events, on vault, we have Australia and Japan. On high bar, we have Portugal and France. P-bars, we have Kazakhstan,
Azerbaijan and Georgia.
and on rings, we have Russia, Hungary, Latvia, and floor, Spain and Romania. Just waiting for the second Chinese competitor to receive his score, and Jackson Payne is chalking up. This is our first viewing of Jackson Payne. He is trains out of Calgary Gymnastics Center, which Cody and I are both from. He is a phenomenal person and competitor, and I know how hard he's been working, and I'm excited to see this routine from Jackson is one of his strengths.
There he goes. Score for Xiao Roteng, 14.866.
Wow.
Beautiful mount. Oh, and he's off. I believe he has 30 seconds to remount. Very difficult quadruple Russian sequence in the middle of the pommel horse. Anytime you do any of the elements in that area, makes things 10 times more difficult. He seems to have caught his rhythm now.
Nice finish on the dismount for Jackson. Unfortunately, there was a fall in the middle of that, but everything else seemed very clean, just like the way he's been practicing. I know he'll be disappointed with that fall, but he had a great, strong finish, and that's not the last of Jackson we'll see tonight. To me, I feel as though we can kind of relate pommel horse and balance beam. Is that right?
Oh, pommel horse is absolutely one of the most difficult ones to master. Takes years and years of basics and positioning work. But yeah, just like you said, in competition, it can be something that will throw you off in the blink of an eye.
We are just seeing the Japanese go on vault, even though the camera's not on it. We're waiting for Kenzo Shirai to vault, who is one of the best vaulters in the world.
And as we await the score, Zachary Clay prepares for his palm horse routine.
As we mentioned earlier, Zachary is the sole all-around competitor for Canada, and he will have the opportunity to make all-around finals, which are in a few days, placing top 24 to advance to the all-around finals.
Zachary's been solid all year, earlier at Elite Canada and the Canadian Championships.
Score comes in for Jackson at 12.133. Green flag goes for Zachary Clay.
There's a sequence to handstand. This is single pommel Moors. Spindle. Oh, and he's off. When the gymnast falls, it's a full 1 point off in deductions. Looks like he's ready to remount. Nice leg form on his Magyar Salvato and then through to the dismount. Was an unfortunate fall for Zachary. On attend pour le note pour Zachary Clay. Prochain compétiteur de Lévis, Québec, Terry Pellerin.
Oh. Kenzo Shirai of Japan just nailed a beautiful Yurchenko triple twist, stuck hold. It was beautiful.
Incredible. Terry s'est entraîné au club Gymnastics in Lévis, Québec, avec les entraîneurs Martin Bordelot.
And the score for Zachary Clay comes in. It is a 13.066.
Terry, c'est une spécialiste sur cet appareil. On y va. Très belle amplitude avec les hanches. Avec des tenues excellentes. Continue le bon rhythm. Et juste fini avec la sortie. C'est un petit peu tough à la fin, mais la routine est complète sans chute.
Kenzo just did his second vault. His first vault scored a 15.2 and his second a 14.9. So strong vault for Kenzo. We have moved the camera over to vault for Japan. And up next is the King Kohei Uchimura.
And I think we're in for a treat here. Kohei is just so strong on every event. Planning a 5.8 difficulty vault. Going for his 6th World Championships title in the all-around.
I think that is the most ever.
By any athlete.
Amazing. There he goes.
Wow. Yurchenko half on, front 2.5, nearly stuck. Oh, and he appears hurt.
So they just announced that Kenzo has the top vault score in the competition this far, with 1 subdivision remaining tomorrow, and the rest of the competition to go. Oh dear.
And Kohei appears hurt.
Terry's score on Pommel horse.
Le note pour Terry Pellerin, c'est 13-6-5-8. C'est très bien pour Terry. À ce moment, il arrive au 19e orange.
On to the final competitor on vault for Japan.
Kisuke Asato.
Kohei Uchimura, his score was a 15.166 on vault.
It's a great score, and we hope he's going to be able to continue through the competition. Here we go.
Wow.
Oh,
A Souk full in. Amazing.
incredible. Only a handful of athletes will perform this in the entire World Championships. He's got to be up, what, 12 feet?
Must be, at
Incredible.
least.
You know, the Japanese men, they never cease to amaze me. In recent years, they've just been absolutely dominating the sport.
Now, he will be competing 2 events, and in order to make a vault final, you do need to demonstrate 2 different vaults coming from different families. So the way you approach the vault and the way you enter, leave the horse
yeah.
is dependent on what family it's from. So you need two different families. The most common ones are Yurchenko, which is the back handspring onto the horse, or a front handspring, or Sukahara, which is when you run and you just do a straight flip onto the horse, or you do a half twist onto the horse. So those are the most common, but sometimes we'll see some half-ons, which is a Yurchenko half-on. And
just like Kohei performed.
It
looks like he's performing his second vault at a 5.6 difficulty. Score on the first vault was a 14.533.
So in order to make the finals, they combine the 2 vault scores and they average that, and the top 8 scores with the highest average will move on to the vault finals.
Here he goes for his second vault. Wow. Handspring front, 2.5. Small step back. You know, in terms of the judging, I believe
Seems pleased with the head.
Yeah, incredible. I believe with the judging, it's always better to step back rather than in front.
As that demonstrates over-rotating as opposed to under-rotating.
Right.
No update yet on Uchimura as he hobbled off a little bit on the vault, but we'll keep a close eye on him and update you guys as best we can when we get some updates on Kohei. Next event for Canadian men is still rings. And we are still waiting for competitors on
parallel bars. And the average score for Keisuke Asado is 14.716. That puts him in second place behind his teammate,
wow,
Kenzo Shirai.
proves the strength of Japanese gymnastics on vault, and throughout the competition you will see them in the top several athletes on each event. They are the reigning team Olympic champions, so they have a wide variety of strong athletes, and they're represented well at these World Championships.
That was Akim Musayev of Kazakhstan, rounding out the second rotation on the parallel bars. Canadian men will be marching on to rings, as Brittany had said. Brittany, would you say that rings is a strength of Scott Morgan's as well?
Yes, absolutely. So, like mentioned before, Scott did compete at the 2016 Rio Olympics on floor, rings, and vault. So it's definitely one of his specialties, and I'm excited to see his routine. He is a very petite, like I said, very petite athlete, but incredible upper body strength, which allows him to succeed at
he's
at
so
rings.
strong.
So strong.
And as the gymnasts march to their third apparatus, take a small pause as they warm up.
The light work is very intricate here at the stadium. They are all over the crowd, and it just puts on a show, and it's an incredible performance done by the organizing committee here, and the stadium is beautiful, and it truly is a special moment for Canada to host these World Championships.
Well, it appears that Kohei is going to warm up his parallel bar routine.
Good news for all you King Kohei fans. He is up on the podium. We are currently watching Zach Clay warm up on rings. Next will be Renee. And final representation of Canada will be Scott Morgan.
And they're in what's called their one-touch warm-up. So essentially, Brittany, as a gymnast, what are the things that you're doing in a one-touch warm-up?
During the one-touch warm-up, it depends on the athlete, but I like to do my most difficult skills in the warm-up just so I get a sense of the atmosphere while I'm doing those skills. So again, it depends on the athlete, but you normally like to warm up 2, 3, 4 skills in the 30-second touch you have, just to get a feel for the equipment. We do have a warm-up period about 2 hours before the competition starts, but it's in a different hall, so the only time these athletes get to warm up is in the 30-second touch. So they get to a sense of the arena, the lighting, the atmosphere on the event in those 30 seconds. So it's truly up to the gymnast what they want to perform, but normally you'll see a couple skills here and there, and just to get a feel for what they're expected to do.
And all the meanwhile trying to stay fresh for their performance.
Absolutely, yeah. You don't want to wear yourself out on the 30-second warm-up, as it's just the warm-up.
So this is the day that counts for qualifications. Individual all-round is supposed to be added together.
Kohei is warming up on P-bars. Seems to be okay. He seems to have sustained a lower body injury, so P-bars is probably a good event to do after vault, as it is mostly upper body. So hopefully he will assess the situation more after P-bars.
You know, what it appeared to be, because the landing seemed okay, it appeared to be a bit of a sting landing on vault. You know, those sometimes go away within 10 to 15 minutes.
A sting landing, as Cody is describing, is when you land a little bit short, a little bit under-rotated. Your joints can't really sustain what is going on in gymnastics. Sometimes you just get a little bit of a zing and a shooting of pain, and that's usually when your ankles jam, and usually that goes away within the next several minutes. So cross our fingers, that's what's going on with Kohei.
Seems that their one-touch warm-ups are complete. We're going to start with Lin Xiaopan of China.
On rings, representing the People's Republic of China, Lin Xiaopan.
Here we go. Chinese are also historically known to be great swingers, excellent strength men on the rings. Maltese cross there.
It still amazes me after all these years in gymnastics how they can do that.
Just incredible. Tucked Yamawaki, piked Yamawaki up to a back brace planche. One recent trend on the rings that you'll see often now, the guys will do their strength holds and they will release their hands just to show their mastery that they've had the extra strength to do it in that way. Double dismount, stuck cold.
Wow, true Chinese fashion. Great dismount.
Very nice.
Lin Xiaopan, representing the People's Republic of China, absolutely delighted with that very strong dismount.
For those of you just joining us or recently joined us, this is Brittany Rogers, and I'm alongside Cody Casey, and we are commentating live at the third subdivision at the 2017 World Championships, and we are waiting for Canada to start on their third rotation of rings.
Next, we'll get our first look at Zachary Clay of Canada. Looking to redeem himself after a few falls, once on the floor exercise and once on the pommel horse. Just waiting for the score for Lin Xiaopan. Zachary is the current Canadian national champion in the all-around.
Usually the delay in scoring are the judges debriefing over a requirement or a deduction or something that was in a gray area of either not crediting or not counting or the amount of deduction. So they like to debrief obviously after every routine, and sometimes it just takes more time than others.
And that's something that you also prepare for too, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Zachary is the current Canadian silver medalist at the Canadian Championships on this event.
The coaches are welcome to submit an inquiry about the D score just to make sure it's exactly right. There's a lot of skills in the team, and the D score adds up to the best 8 skills. So the coaches may consider that. What is not up for discussion is the E score. That is the execution score, and that is final.
Well, this is a long wait for Zachary.
While we're waiting for Zachary, Kenzo Shirai, I believe, is chalking up on P-bars.
Score on parallel bars. Play Mason Stevens, 12.833.
Maintenant, à la percussion, de la réussite Nikita Nagorny.
Nikita Nagorny of Russia is about to do his vault. Oh, and it appears his hand slipped on the handspring double front.
Les mains de Nagorny vont glisser sur l'appareil de sorte qu'il n'a pas pu prendre de la hauteur de l'appareil. De cette manière.
We're going to pan over to watch Kenzo's P-bar routine as we wait for Zach to get the green light to go.
Peach basket to handstand. Giant double back to the upper arms.
Beautiful lines.
Maintenant aux arçons de la Roumanie, Christian.
Good. To pelt to the center of the bars. Very solid. Stutz. Very good.
Wow.
Incredible height. And double front half out dismount.
Original. It's not very common we're seeing double front.
No, and it's
Off
becoming
P-bar.
more of a trend in men's gymnastics to be dismounting the apparatus forward like that. He did it really well.
And just to let you know about the expiry for Axel Gis, representing France, it has been accepted. His D score has been increased to 5.9.
La note de Monsieur Gis de la France.
Seems that judging delay is soon to be over here on the rings.
The inquiry about the score is towards the Chinese gymnast who just went before Zach.
And those inquiries are common nowadays in the sport with the changing of the code. This is the first major outing also for the judges.
Since the Olympics, there have been changes with the code of points and the way that gymnastics is judged. So the judges do have plenty of time to practice before big competitions like this, but not always is it the same judges and the same group. And so they do sometimes get lost in translation and need some reassurance and to make sure, I mean, this is a very important competition, so they want to make sure that everything is to the book.
Yeah, and like you said, they want to get it right too, I'm sure.
Kenzo's score on P-bars came up as a 14.6, which currently puts him in 7th.
Excellent score.
Kohei Uchimura is next on P-bars
I think we're going to pan over to him.
as we still wait for Zach.
This is one of his stronger apparatuses. Okay. And we're going to pan back over to the rings. They're finally ready for Zachary Clay. Okay, roll over to L Cross. There's his Maltese. Excellent line. Back up to Maltese. There we go. Tuck Yamawaki, Pike Yamawaki up to Iron Cross. Gearing up for his dismount. Double-double and stuck landing.
Beautiful
There's the
landing.
routine he was looking for. And over on parallel bars, Kohei finished his routine. It still seems that that ankle is hampering him.
He is limping off the mats, unfortunately. He did have a solid routine on P-bars. His dismount did require him to take a few steps, I think, out of discomfort of the pain he's feeling. So we will see if he can continue on with that leg injury.
If I could get a water, that would be awesome.
I found got 2 cups, so as long as I don't mind sharing.
Okay.
I'm dying. Actually, you know what? You take that, and I will go drink in the morning.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll just say it.
Of course, in this feed, we are focusing on the Canadians. Again, we will do our best to show others, but we are fully supportive of our men's Canadian team and want to make sure they are very well covered.
And as we await the score for Zachary Clay, that it came up, it's a 13.7. A prochain compétiteur de Québec, Canada, René Cournoyer. Saint Jean is 3-4. Tous les éléments de maintien, c'est fait pour les 2 secondes requisés. Yamawaki encapé et groupé. Tous les spectateurs. Il est prêt pour la sortie. Double, une bonne réception. Très bien.
Wonderful appreciation from the crowd. Hometown competitor as he waves to the crowd
Excellent.
appreciation. That's great.
Belle performance.
The score for Kohei on P-bars was a 14.033.
Okay. Score for René Cournoyer, 13.9. Le note pour René Cournoyer.
And
Prize neuf.
last up on the ring, Scott Morgan of BC, the 2016 Rio Olympian. Strong event for Scott Morgan.
There we go. Wow. Pull straight up to a planche. Kippel cross. What the judges are looking for in these strength elements is for them to show and demonstrate a straight line that's level with the rings, just like this in his Maltese.
He gets cheers from the crowd for that awesome display of strength.
Holding his strength elements just a little bit longer than needed.
And
Double dismount,
wow.
and he nailed it.
Beautiful.
Great performance
He
for
is
Scott Morgan.
Very happy with that. Aw.
It's nice for the enthusiasm from the home crowd for these Canadian athletes.
Absolutely. The appreciation for Canadian gymnastics is growing with the success that Canada has had in recent competitions, and it just keeps getting stronger, and it's super encouraging to see the support behind us, and we know it's going to keep growing with the talent that's coming up in Canadian gymnastics.
Strong performance for Scott Morgan.
And the score for Scott Morgan comes in. It is a 14.166.
And that's a decent score. That's an 8-1, excuse me, 8-3, 8-1 execution. 6.0 start value. Next competitor on the rings is Ruo Teng Xiao. Beautiful Maltese. And that's what I was talking about earlier with the arms. The hands flare out just to demonstrate master control on those strength elements. Milwaukee series through to iron cross. Here's his dismount. It's a standard one. Tuck, double, double. Small hop forward on the landing. Otherwise, a very stable, solid performance.
And Davis speaks incredible strength makes it so easy. His iron cross actually extends his fingertips right off of the rings just to show that it's rather easy for him.
We just finished up the final competitor on P-bars, and we are waiting for the final rings competitor to go from China before we rotate to our fourth event.
Next up will be Liu Yang of China.
Now, is ring something that men train every day, or is it something that they have to spread out throughout their training? Because I know it's got to be tough with the amount of strength that it requires, and I can't imagine it's easy on your body.
For sure. Well, as you were saying, there are 6 competitive apparatuses for the men, 4 for the women. Typically, it's split up into days because of the strenuous work that you do on all the apparatus. I would say that you would be training the strength sequences and exercises daily. The conditioning has to be kept up in order to do these things well and in a routine, but I wouldn't say that they perhaps do routines every day. The score for Xiaorun Teng, 13.933.
And our final competitor on rings represents the People's Republic of China, Liu Yang.
Here is Liu Yang. He will round out this rotation. Getting his grips ready. It's called a false grip in gymnastics. You want to make sure that your grip is solid for things such as this. Roll over to Maltese. We like to keep that grip throughout the routine. Beautiful inverted cross. Look, straight line from hand to hand. Yamawaki series, through to cross, pull out to a planche. These Chinese gymnasts are so strong.
I can imagine it requires a lot of mental strength as well as physical strength to complete the rings. I'm sure it's draining, and they just want to give up and give out, but it's amazing how they continue and stay strong.
Yeah, so that routine
Wow.
was, 2 steps on the landing with the chest down. That's unfortunate because that routine was stellar. I would say that the first 50 seconds of his routine were strength move after strength move.
Incredible.
I know he was looking to stick that landing. Let's have to think that he's hoping to make the final still, despite the 2 mistake landings.
That wraps up the third rotation, so we will be moving on to vault for Canada. Like I mentioned earlier, you need to complete 2 vaults in order to make vault finals. As for Zach, he will be competing 1 vault because he is looking to make the all-around finals, which he needs to complete just 1 vault for. But in order to make the vault finals, you do need to, which averages to a score to advance you to the finals.
As we move to the fourth rotation, we'll be starting with 2 Canadian athletes.
Zach Clay, as I mentioned, doing 1 vault, and Renee, who will be performing 2 vaults.
Salut, c'est Yann, je suis ici dans la foule. Hello! All right, we got folks, we got fans, we also have future athletes, I'm sure. Okay, on va faire un exercice.
I wonder if Zachary may be performing 2 vaults as well. It seems that he... No, you're absolutely right. My mistake. Renee Cornoyer will be performing 2 vaults. Renee is the bronze medalist from the 2017 Canadian Championships on the vault. The score for Liu Yang on the still rings, 14.8. So that puts him currently 3rd. So I think he can hold on for the final. And the Canadians are up the first 2, so we leading off the fourth rotation will be Zachary Clay.
I believe they just completed their warm-up for vault, so Coach Richard Ikeda just set the board for Zachary Clay, who is first up on vault.
Zachary has planned a 4.8 start value on this apparatus.
Nice Duke double twist from Zachary. A little bit of a low landing, small hop, but overall great vault for him. On the other events, we have Russia on P-bars, Japan, of course, on high bar, Romania on rings, we have Kazakhstan on floor, France on pommel horse.
Prochain compétiteur, au cheval, René Cornoyer. Les entraîneurs préparent les surfaces de table. Des fois, les gymnastes on fait une glisse. Tout est correct. Le note de départ pour cette saut, c'est 5.2. René Cornoyer du Canada.
The score
On y
for
va.
Zach Clay was a 13-3.
Wow, son main double front très bien avec beaucoup de hauteur. Incroyable. On fait une claque de main avec les entraîneurs Jean-Sébastien Touga. C'est un saut excellent pour la première fois.
On high bar, we are watching Kenzo Shirai, who unfortunately just had a fall, I believe, on his laid out Kovacs.
Le premier saut pour René Cournerier, 14,166. Deuxième saut, le note de départ, c'est 4,8. Souk W a, on est fait 2 pas à côté, puis un c'est clairement à l'extérieur. Quand les gymnastes arrivent dans le rouge, c'est une déduction de 1,1 ou 0,3.
Finishing up his routine on high bar is Kenzo Shirai from Japan, sticking his dismount.
And as we await the score of René Cournerier, we will pan over to the high bar. And next up is Kohei Uchimura. And I believe we have a correction here. It seems to be Hidetaka Miyaki and not Kohei Uchimura. It seems that he's scratched the apparatus. And should he not be competing, that keeps him out of the all-around final. And that is huge. I'm sure a lot of fans are disappointed by that, but it seems that this year we'll be crowning a new world champion for the first time.
13.033 score for Kenzo Shirai on high bar.
Puis la note finale pour René Cournerier au saut, c'est 13,599. Here we are with Hidetaka Miyaki. There is his
Wow.
double twisting Kovacs. It's never been done in competition. I believe it'll be named after him. Laid out Coleman. Tucked Coleman. Incredible.
Wow. Beautiful.
Kovacs. I can't say how difficult that first release move is. It is a double twist in the tuck position over the bar. Comes his dismount. Full twisting, laid out. Double. A little bit close to the bar and a little bit loose through the body, but he finished that routine.
It seems as though Kohei has scratched high bar, therefore he will no longer be able to make the all-around finals.
Yes. And that's disappointing. I know a lot of people came to Montreal to see him perform. Hopefully, we'll be able to see him again in another apparatus tonight.
Au sommet de la Chine, Li Chaopan.
Yeah. Yeah, parallel bars. And as we await the score for Hidetaka Miyake, we're going to pan over to the parallel bars now. And the next performer is Botan Kardos of Hungary.
Score on horizontal bar for the high flying routine by Hidetaka Miyake, 13.966. And now representing Australia, Michael Marseille.
So just text me WhatsApp you guys with that.
Le score de série de 25 de 14,333. Prochain compétiteur à cet appareil, le cheval de glaçon de la Slovénie,
So the bars are all prepared.
Bertondsen.
We're just waiting on the judges for the green light.
You can see in the background, Australia is on high bar. A nice view of those two events.
This is Michael Merseca.
Le score de Kuzokov, 13,2 au sol.
Oh, short on that landing. And we have the green light over on parallel bars.
Prochain compétiteur au bar parallèle, Richard Strauss de la Lettonie.
From Latvia, Richard Trams.
Hakim Hussain.
Seemed to hit his feet on the floor there on his front uprise. Peach basket to handstand.
Representing Spain,
Diamondov. Slight form break with the legs. A little bit short on that just to handstand. And double pike to finish.
Russia's up next on P bars. First up will be Sergei Eltkov.
score on horizontal bar for Michael Marseille, representing Australia, 13.10.
Mitchell Morgan's in the back on high bar for Australia. He is saluting to the judges.
Representing Kazakhstan. Our next competitor on horizontal bar represents Australia, Mitchell Morgan.
Maintenant aux arceaux représentant le Portugal.
Jam half. Now he's winding up for his laid out Coleman. Great catch. Laid out Kovacs a little bit close in there.
Wow, another stacked routine full of release moves. Oh, a little bit of a check there.
Here's his invert sequence. Some form breaks coming in and out through the bar. He's got to finish up with a strong dismount here.
Wow.
Double-double. Seemed to be tired out a little bit towards the end of that.
I mean,
routine
I would
for
be
me.
too doing those release moves.
And here we go. Sergei Elkov. Russians are also traditionally known for their parallel bar work. You see those upper arm pads? These are for those saltos just like that one. Take quite a beating to the upper arms. Peach half to handstand. It's got a great body line.
Beautiful toe point.
Giant to one bar.
Incredible balance. Now I know that little shift in his hand right there is a deduction. A lot of deductions in the women's code of points is about shifting hands and feet, and I believe it has transferred over to the men's code of point as well.
There's a double front half. Little wobble on landing. It seems he grabbed the bar. It'll be interesting to see what the judges do with that. Otherwise, a very strong routine.
Tyson Bull up next on high bar for Australia.
And following Elkov will be Nikita Nagorny, one of the Russian standouts on parallel bars.
Delighted with his performance. Diogo Romero from Portugal. And always feels good in the Pommel horse routine. Carries it out, those hands have to keep moving.
Tyson Bull on high bar for Australia.
Just to update you on the current live scoring results,
Nice catch.
leading the high bar from Switzerland, Pablo Breger with a 14.433. Second place is Tin Serbic from Croatia with a 14.366. And in third is Oliver Heggie, also from Switzerland with a 14.333. Jam to handstand. There's his Ono spin
Wow.
into a release.
Oh,
Oh,
keep fighting.
dismount.
He stayed on with a few big release moves there.
And finishing off that spectacular horizontal bar routine, that was Tyson Bull representing Australia.
Here we go with Nikita Nagorny of Russia. Peach handstand to one bar. Connected to a Healy that was a little bit rough through the bottom. Seems to get his rhythm back now. One-tenth of a point there for the hand shift. Coming with 1.5 through to double front half.
Nice landing.
Excellent landing.
Score comes in for Tyson Bull. It's a 13.4.
Absolutely see the determination, slightly off
Last up on P-bars,
David Belyevsky.
I believe there is a pronunciation default there.
Yeah, I think I can do better.
Belyevsky?
Belyevsky.
There we go.
Nailed it.
We are human.
They spend countless hours in the gym every day, 5-6 days a week. Most of them becomes a full-time obsession. That's what it takes.
Zachary Clay is currently ranked in 13th in the all-around after the 4th rotation in the 3rd subdivision.
Third subdivision of 5.
Or 4. I've never actually seen a World Championships that separates the subdivisions into 2 days like they have with the men and women. So the men's competition qualification will flow into tomorrow, and the women's subdivision will start tomorrow and go on to the next day.
That's right. And earlier, Sergei Elkov finished with a 14.6 on the parallel bars, putting him 10th, so he's just out of the finals.
David
Belyevsky.
Belyevsky.
There we go.
We're going to get it by the end of the day.
Yep.
Up next on P-bars.
One of the Russian standouts, Rio Olympian. Very nice work through the upper arm elements. Tipel to the end. There's his Bavzar.
Wow.
Excellent flair with the arms. Sets to 1 bar. Confident performance. Double front half out dismount. The score for Nikita Nagorny, 13.9.
And that concludes the 4th rotation of the 3rd subdivision. Canada will be moving on to P-bars, where we will have 3 competitors. First up will be Zachary Clay, our all-arounder. Next will be Rene Cornier. And third will be Jackson Payne. He will go last. Third up for the Canadians will be Jackson Payne.
On y commence la 5e rotation dans Subdivision 3 au championnat du monde en direct du stade olympique. Le suivant appareil pour les Canadiennes, c'est le bar parallèle. Puis le premier compétiteur, c'est Zachary Clay. Ensuite, René Cournoyer et à la fin de rotation, Jackson Payne.
Update on Kohei Uchimura, who's listening of fans of Kohei. The Japanese team just rotated onto their next event, and Kohei was not present in that
The march out.
march out. So I believe he has probably been taken to medical care, and his injury is being looked at.
It's quite a huge development for this men's competition overall. And we've started the warm-up of the 5th rotation. And I believe Zachary Clay sits 15th in the current standings in the all-around. He's got to be in the top 24?
Top 24, I believe.
To qualify to the second day all-around final.
Men's gymnastics is just getting so difficult as the years go on. It'll definitely be something to celebrate, making the all-around finals and making any finals here at the World Championships. It's a very jam-packed field of competitors, especially this World Championships is an individual World Championship. So we're not represented as a team. There's no team competition. It's only all-around and event finals. So you will see more event specialists, as you will, obviously you've seen here today. Not everyone is doing the all-around or every event, as well as not putting up three guys on each event. So you could have one person from the country, you could have three. Maximum is 3 per event. And on the team, you can have six guys total, and you spread out amongst the events who you want to compete. And I believe they chose that lineup just recently. So it's who's on their game closest to the competition, and that's the deciding factor of the lineup.
That's right, Brittany. And with an individual World Championships, too, what we will see and what we have already seen is people amping up their routines with maximum difficulty, taking the maximum risks. We've had some big gymnastics, some falls that were as a result of that risk, and Kohei himself taking the risks that he took, despite the fact that he's been to many World Championships, 2-time Olympian like someone like yourself. And so at this point, he's probably wagering, after all of his experiences, whether or not he can continue on certain events. Would you say that that's...
Right, absolutely. I mean, doing the all-around 6 events is a lot on your body. I know a lot of the guys have competed all around in the past and then are now event specialists and will waver back and forth just due to the strain on the body and the amount of hours it takes preparing for 6 events. So you will see guys in and out of the all-around competition as well as girls. Like myself, I was an all-around competitor, and I'm taking a bit of a break on floor to mend some wounds and focus on my strengths. So a lot of the guys will do the same.
Longevity.
Yes, absolutely.
Looks like the warm-up is complete on parallel bars as Zachary prepares the bars for himself. A lot of the men like the bars prepared in a certain specific way. They use honey, sometimes washcloths, just to keep them moist and something that they're comfortable with their grip. The red light is still on for Zachary. Once the green light has been indicated, he has 30 seconds to mount the apparatus. That hasn't happened yet.
I think the judges do give the athletes a bit of time to prepare the bars, just how they like it, for safety reasons as well as performance reasons. I mean, if the bar is slippery, it definitely adds more of a risk to slip off and injure yourself. So I think the judges are very relaxed with letting the athletes prepare the the apparatus the way that they can perform best.
And here he goes. He's saluted the judge, and he's ready for his routine.
5th rotation for the men's subdivision.
Excellent start so far. Front 1 1/4 in the straddle position. 2, the upper arms again. Zachary's looking to improve on his current 15th place ranking. Double pike dismount, hop forward. A decent routine. There were some minor errors here and there.
He stayed on, got through the routine.
And seems to have caught his bearings.
One more event for Zach to complete the all-around competition. Preparing the bars next is Renee, and as we were waiting the score for Zach Clay.
En préparation pour la suivante routine, René Conoyer. The score for Samir Ait Saeed on the rings in his debut since his traumatic injury at the Rio Olympics, 14.966. That puts him in 3rd place.
Wow.
Good for him. What an incredible recovery.
Amazing. I don't know if you remember or watched, but he suffered a traumatic injury on the vault with his bone actually popping out of the skin on his landing. It's incredible that he is back so soon. And so confident to be out on the floor again. I know he must have suffered a lot of mental tragedy as well as physical. I believe he is actually doing the vault in this competition, so we're looking forward to seeing that as well.
And a well-documented recovery on social media, lots of followers. And on est prêt pour René Conoyer du Canada au bar parallèle. Bavsar. Tippelt au centre du bar. Avec une style très agressive.
Nice. Nice toe point.
Il reste calme. La sortie. Double front. Un gros pas en avant, mais c'est une autre routine avec un bon succès. René Conoyer du Canada. And
I believe that concludes Renee's competition at this World Championship so far. What an amazing experience for him, being from Quebec and being on home soil. It's a great experience, and I know they are very thrilled and very grateful for the support that they've been given as Canadians, and they look forward to continuing on moving forward and growing as a nation in Canadian gymnastics and rebuilding their program in hopes to send a full team to Tokyo in 2020.
And he's a great young talent. He's been around for many years on the national team. A lot of people have been anticipating his major performances on the world stage, and it's really great to see him out here in front of a home crowd. And as we await René's score, le note pour René Cornet au bar parallèle, c'est 13-9-66. 13-9-66.
And in the background, you will be able to see high bar as the Russians are competing.
The next gymnast is Nikita Nagorny,
The P-bar score for René,
13.966.
On floor exercise, representing Australia, Christopher.
Isn't this one currently going or after? Next.
Correction, Nikita Nagorny did complete his high bar routine. The score was a 13.9. And I think we're going to pan over now to the floor exercise while Christopher Remkes finishes up his routine. Arabian double front. Nice double layout. That's a double layout finish for Christopher Remkes of Australia.
Next up on floor is Kenzo Shirai of Japan, who is a phenomenal floor worker. I get dizzy watching him and all of his spins. It's unbelievable. He does multiple twists in his routines and connections, and he is phenomenal, and you can definitely look forward to seeing him in floor finals, I'm sure, if he nails this routine.
And also something of a crowd favorite. A lot of people came to watch this floor routine. His cat-like ability and his twisting is something I've never seen before in the sport.
Like I said, I get dizzy just looking at it. I can't imagine doing it.
And as we watch the routine, we'll try our best to count properly. But we're in for a treat.
We are.
Some other current scores. Xiaorun Tang of China on parallel bars, 14.8. That puts him currently 5th.
Floor exercise for Christopher Remke.
Christopher Remkes of Australia, who just went 13.066. And that is the go-ahead for Kenzo Shirai of Japan.
On floor exercise, representing Japan, Kenzo Shirai.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
He gets a big round of applause from the crowd as he's very well known for his talent. Triple twisting double layout, unbelievable.
Incredible.
And straight into a triple twisting double tuck. Stuck.
Nailed both landings here. That was a 3.5 to punch front 2.5. He just did 6 twists with 2 saltos.
Unreal. Wow.
Front full to
Ooh.
front triple full.
Stays in bounds, I believe. That would have been 1/10 deduction. had
Looking
he
for
gone out.
redemption from the Rio Olympics.
Yes.
He was the clear favorite in the floor exercise and stumbled in the final. Three and a half punch front full twist.
Wow.
It looks so easy for him.
Too easy. I wouldn't mind some of that.
Here we go.
Quad to finish.
Incredible. That's going to put him first.
That has to.
Has to. Unbelievable.
He doesn't even look phased. Amazing.
Kenzo Shirai of
Expecting
Japan.
to see a big score out of that.
Yeah.
21 years of age, a very young competitor, and we can definitely see many years to come for Shirai.
His coach looks pleased.
On high bar, we have David Belyavsky of Russia.
Let's pan over there to high bar. Oh no. Well done.
I believe he is a all-around competitor for Russia tonight.
Leonid Tkachev. Same move, but into a mixed grip. A little bit of a struggle through the handstand. Beautiful flare on that release move. David also is a very petite gymnast.
Nice.
You probably saw just in the background Marian Dragulescu of Romania on the vault.
Legend, he is.
Legendary vaulter. Successfully landed his vault.
Still waiting on Kenzo's floor score. We will get that to you as soon as it comes in. They probably had troubles counting his twists too, the judges.
It's incredible, his technique.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the delay. Score for Kenzo is a 15.766, which I believe puts him in the lead.
Definitely. And he knocks Donnell Wittenberg to second place. 15.7, that's unheard of in this new code of points.
Yeah. So that puts him in second all around currently. I believe he is doing all around as well as Kohei was doing. No longer. That's incredible. A 7.2 star value. That is almost unheard of, especially in the new code of points where they don't get the full 2.5 special requirement bonus. They only get the 2.0 to add to their final score. So that is phenomenal.
And here currently on the parallel bars, Zhuo Jingwan. Finishing up his routine, double front half out. Excellent performance. The competitor before, Lin Xiaopan, 15.0 on the parallel bars. That puts him in fourth position. And the score for David
Belyavsky.
Thank you. 14.208. He's in fourth on the high bar at this point. This is a great rotation.
This is very exciting. We are looking forward to having our final competitor on P-bars, Jackson Payne. As I mentioned before, his precision in practice and his dedication to making his gymnastics as good as it can be is just inspiring, and training alongside of him is very encouraging and motivating, and I know a lot of the younger gymnasts at the gym look up to him and admire him for his dedication and his passion for gymnastics.
Yep. Jackson came back to the sport, felt he had something to prove to himself. That's his coach, Bin Fan, both of Calgary Gymnastics Center.
He suffered a torn Achilles a couple years ago and was still able to be the alternate for the Olympic Games in Brazil last year. I believe his passion will hopefully take him to Tokyo 2020, and he's definitely on the road to that, making his dreams come true.
He's also just about the nicest guy you'll ever meet, right?
He sure is. He sure is.
Looks like he's finished preparing the bars.
The score from the previous competitor was a 15.233, which puts him into second place on P-bars.
That was Jingwan Zhao.
of China.
The score for Marian Dragulescu on the vault, 14.866. That puts him into second place.
Wow. Like I said, legend.
Here goes Jackson.
Green light for Jackson.
And now, on parallel bars, representing Canada, Jackson Payne.
Nice introduction there for Jackson as
Peach
he
half to handstand.
starts his routine.
Giant to one bar. Great control. He's had a little bit of trouble in that in training, but he nailed that perfectly there.
Great work from Jackson so far. Nice.
Jam it off a little off to the side, but he recovered that well.
The judges are sitting to the side of the P-bars, so they can't see the off-balance quite as much as if they were sitting in front of it.
Double pike.
Step on the landing, but I'm sure he is very relieved to get through that routine. Great
He's
routine
going to be
for Jackson.
pleased with that. And you can kind of see in the corner of the screen the judges' seating area, and this is something relatively new to gymnastics, but they have a partition between each of the judges. Just
So
to
you
keep,
don't cheat off your neighbor.
Yeah, don't cheat on my homework.
Just to make sure the competition is fair and unbiased, and it's all the judges are keeping true to their own.
And FIG, the Fédération Internationale de Gymnastique, is the governing body for our sport. All of the judges are accredited at this elite brevet level, and there's a technical committee that oversees all of the ongoings of the judges throughout the competitions.
We have a couple of competitors left, one on high bar and one on pommel horse. As we wait to close the 5th rotation, heading into the 6th and final rotation of this 3rd subdivision. Score for Jackson, a 14.133, which puts him into 23rd position. So unfortunately, not a final position, but I'm sure he's very proud of that routine and nailing it on the world stage. I know he has big things to come.
And we have our final competitor on the high bar, a tall gymnast.
Very tall. I can relate.
Yes. David Vexernis of Hungary. A lot of gymnasts, a lot of people in the gymnastics community seeing being tall as a disadvantage. There's his tuck Coleman. I think he uses it like you do to your advantage.
A bit of you can see the speed of his gymnastics is slower. I would assume that's because of his height, but it is a little bit more of an elegant technique that he's performing now.
And there's a bigness to it, right?
Absolutely. You can't miss him with his white singlets, that's for sure.
Oh, that was an interesting
Interesting.
dismount. I thought he
Wow.
was doing a Gaylord 2, and then he halved out of it.
Wow.
Very cool.
I believe the crew is coming out now. I think it's safe to say they may have hired the bar because of his height, which I can also relate to. Gymnasts are allowed to raise the bars if they can prove that they can hit the mat below them. They do this test before the competition with a judge, and then can have the bars 10 centimeters higher, at least on the women's side. I'm not sure about the men's side, but I believe it's a possibility if you are tall, a taller gymnast.
I believe it's a similar situation for the men, but in general, it's to keep it fair for all athletes,
Right.
and giving them all the same conditions to compete under.
Yeah, I guess it looks higher
That looks really high.
and uneven, so I think they've
Yeah, they're going
lowered
to
one, but
one side and then the next. the amazing crew at Gym Nova Canada,
Yes.
responsible for all the equipment supply for the competition and for all the maintenance and general ongoings of the meet. They're there, and they're there every time.
They actually provide our equipment for our national championships and our Elite Canada and our national training center here in Quebec. They provide our equipment there, and it's just a beautiful facility. So we're very thankful for them at Gym Nova.
And I think Gym Nova Canada is the premier sponsor of the 2017 World Gymnastics Championships.
That completes the fifth rotation. We are moving on to our final rotation, and Canada will be on high bar. Closing out the competition on high bar. First up will be Zach Clay, finishing its all-around competition tonight. The two other representatives from Canada, Jackson Payne and Kevin Litwin. First time we will see Kevin Litwin tonight. He is a high bar specialist at this competition. He has a very jam-packed high bar routine.
And I think a really unusual release move that he's looking to debut here today. And I do believe that Kohei Uchimura's performance on the Pommel is a question as well. I don't see him up on the podium warming up.
As we're about to close off the competition with one more event, we would just like to remind you that we are doing a live stream tomorrow for the Canadian women qualification. Canada is competing starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Brittany Rogers and Cody Casey will be coming at you live tomorrow night. We're super excited. It's going to be a great show. We'll be doing a similar broadcast in a sense where we will be focusing on the Canadian athletes, however, panning off to other competitors as we see fit and as the time allows us. But of course, we are rooting for our Canadian girls as best as we can.
Yeah, and as your Canadian teammates prepare for tomorrow's event, you've got to be excited to be supporting and cheering them on as they compete.
So excited.
For Team Canada.
Absolutely. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them, and it's great to see them shine on the world stage, and my heart is there with them, and it's a great opportunity for me to also comment on their amazing gymnastics. So I'm really looking forward to a great show, and I know they've been working really hard, and I've been in the gym with them all week, and it's been a great thing to see their hard work pay off, and I wish the best for them tomorrow. I know they're very well prepared.
Awesome. just finishing up their one-touch warm-ups on the high bar. Canadian men seem to pick up some steam in these last rotations.
Absolutely.
We have a section of very enthusiastic fans behind us cheering on all of the men's competitors as they finish their competition here. Strong finish we're looking forward to. Seeing a great performance on high bar from the Canadian men's team.
Some Litwin fans behind us, huh?
Absolutely.
So it seems this was the only apparatus he's competing tonight.
I believe so. I believe that he did suffer a torn ACL not too long ago, and he's just coming back from that. I know he has a few other events up his sleeve, but his major focus has been high bar because the only real impact on his legs is the dismount. So it's an easy event to maintain when you have a lower body injury.
Okay, and it looks like warm-up is complete on the high bar, and we're getting ready to start with Zachary Clay.
His final performance tonight after a all-around performance. Some up and downs from Zach this competition, but I know he's grateful for the support and the enthusiastic crowd cheering him on here in Montreal at the Olympic Stadium.
Zachary was the bronze medalist on the high bar at the recent Canadian Championships held back in June. Laid out to Kachev. That was nice. A starter laid out to Kachev.
Just a dismount left here for Zach. Double out, full out.
Small hop.
Little shuffle on the landing, but
good for him. He seems really happy with that performance.
thanking the crowd, waving off.
Let's hope that's enough to make the finals in the all-around. And as we await the score for Zachary Clay, the next person up on the high bar will be Xiaoru Teng of China.
A little bit of an inquiry, it seems, on Zach's high bar score as we wait a little bit longer to see it.
There's a beautiful double front half on vault by Zachary Hermesh of France. And as we await the score for Zachary Clay, We're going to pan over to the floor exercise to see our next gymnast from Russia, Nikita Nagorny. He's a floor specialist as well. Excellent second vault from Zachary Ramesh. First vault was a 14.533.
Still waiting on the score for Zachary Clay on high bar.
Next competitor. On Pommel represents Australia. Christopher Remke.
La note de Richard Strauss, 13,1.
Score for Zachary Clay on the high bar, 12.866. And his total of 78.632 puts him 11th currently as we approach the midway point of our 6th rotation in this subdivision. And here we go with Nikita Nagorny. Backhand
Wow.
swing. Huge triple back.
I didn't know people were still doing those. It's nice to see. Oh, unfortunate fall on the
That was a
2.5.
double half out.
Yeah.
Front
Oh.
double fall, front double front.
Casual.
What a shame that fall was. He's incredible on this event.
2.5 front full. Back-to-back tumbling. Wow.
A double side pass. Wow. There's his Russian spindles.
Last pass for Nagorny.
Triple twist.
Triple twist.
Oh, he's got to be disappointed with that. It seemed like his foot just slipped out from under him.
Puts on a fantastic show on floor. Huge triple salto. He didn't disappoint us. He did it in the first tunnel line. There is so much difficulty in that floor exercise. You'll be disappointed.
You're going to introduce that.
We're just
Amazing.
having a debate on who's going to pronounce David Belyovsky's name, and I won that one.
Wow,
so.
that wasn't a hard debate.
Votre prochain compétiteur au sol représente également la Fédération de Russie.
Zachary Ramesh of France put himself into 4th position on the vault with a 14.699.
Up for floor is David Belyovsky of Russia. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Double front half out. Beautiful layout full out.
Compétiteur à la barre fixe représentant la République populaire de Chine. Cha.
1.5 front double full. He's also a gymnast with great coordination.
Wow.
Stock Arabian double front half out.
Representing Japan, fights for the discount, and he is delighted with his Pommel team. And if you thought he could only tumble and vault, he had you fooled. That was an excellent show on Pommel.
Well, 2.5 front half, landed out of bounds there. And as we saw in the background, Kenzo Shirai finished his palm horse routine, very pleased. He should be up there for the all around. And David finishes with a triple twist dismount with a small step. He too is in contention for that all around final. Over on the high bar, Xiaoru Tseng finished with a 13.766. His total of 86.297 puts him in second in the all-around at this point.
Shout out to Mahmood listening. Wonderful commentating. Wonderful
Therapeutic care. Mahmoud is the official physiotherapist for the Canadian gymnastics team here at the World Championships.
is holding our team together quite nicely, I might add.
Next up on the floor, from Russia, Arthur Dalalian.
Nous le présentons à l'instant. Voici Arthur Dalalian.
Score for David Belyavsky, 13.933. His total puts him in third place at this point. Great first line from Artur. Front layout, front double pike, half. Wow.
Wow. Impressive. Ooh.
Oh no, and double hand down. The hand down counts as a fall. One and a half front, 1.5.
Seems to be a little gassed in this routine.
Yeah. Just some slight errors from the Russians on floor
Last
in this
event,
rotation.
it's probably quite difficult going up as it's been a long competition.
On horizontal bar, representing the People's Republic of China, Lin Xiaopan.
Triple twist. Little loose through the legs in the air there. Finishes up with a small step.
This is a final competitor on high bar for China. We will be seeing our very own Canadians, Jackson Payne and Kevin Litwin, coming up.
This is Lin Xiaopan. Just missed the handstand over. Double.
Wow.
Stuck.
Ooh.
Oh, almost a stuck
Close.
landing there. He had to tuck his knees to get his legs under him.
Taking a bow. bronze medalist as a team in Rio, this competitor from China. Last showing of Jackson Payne on his high bar. Now, Gymnastics Canada has been fortunate to get the sponsorship from Turn Gymnastics Wear. The leotards are the uniforms, not the leotards. The uniforms are designed by Turn Gymnastics, and they look sharp. They definitely do. They're I like the black. I think they look really, really good. So.
Yep, and I think the entire delegation is pleased with the designs this year. And like you said, a lot of thought goes into these kind of things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And what we have to look forward to here is Jackson is the current Canadian national champion on the high bar. Posted that score at the Canadian Championships earlier this year in Montreal as well. And he scored a 14.0. So he's going to be looking to better that. We've seen this routine countless times in the gym, and it's a hairy one.
It sure is. It sure is. High bar is incredible to me. Just the height they get and the skills they perform is just amazing. He's very calm before he goes for his routines, that's for sure. Here he goes for the final showing for Jackson Payne.
Winding up.
Catch. Nice.
Kovacs.
Ooh,
Oh, just on the
wow.
fingertips there. And Gaylord too.
Good catch.
He's fighting.
That's for sure. Into his Jaeger here, I believe. Coming up after this.
Here it goes. Played out
Nice
Jaeger.
catch. Almost there. Let's go, Jackie. The crowd is cheering him on.
He's not letting it go.
Getting him amped up for this dismount.
Double double.
Oh.
Okay. Not sure if his knees touched on that landing.
Made it through.
So determined.
Seems to be happy with that.
Hug from his coach, Bin Fan.
Waving to the crowd, thanking them for their amazing support. Final competitor up next in his Turn uniform is Kevin Litwin for Canada. His first and last performance of the night. Seems as though every event has finished and he will be the only one competing in this arena. I know it's kind of nerve-wracking going up there by yourself, but once you're in the moment, that's what you learn. You learn to cut out distractions, and you practice so hard for that. So I know that he's well equipped with ways to cope with being the only one competing, and that's, you know, if he were to make a final, that's the way it would be as well. So it's a good practice for him if he makes finals. And again, before Kevin goes, we just want to thank you for tuning in to the live feed of YouTube at the Gymnastics Canada page. This is Brittany Rogers and Cody Casey, and we are live at the Montreal World Championships of 2017 at the Olympic Stadium. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, where we will be covering the women's qualifications subdivision 2, where Canada will be performing in hopes to claim spots to finals.
And here's Ontario native Kevin Litwin.
Wow.
Unique catch.
Crowd is alive here.
Oh, just missed that Kovacs.
An unfortunate miss for Kevin. I know he's been working really hard on this routine.
Now he's got 30 seconds to remount the bar.
So once you do fall as a gymnast, the time starts when you mount your feet. So since he did land on his back, he has a chance to catch his breath, but as soon as his feet touch the floor, the time starts and he has 30 seconds to remount the piece of equipment.
The score for Jackson Payne, 13.0. As Kevin continues with his def. Fighting through.
Unique.
So strong.
Nice handstand.
Hop full.
Gearing up for his dismount.
Full twisting double layout. Great way to finish after that fall.
Just coming back from injury, I know he's looking forward to continuing to heal and progress and get back in the game. So, nice debut for Kevin. Fortunately not what he wanted, but a strong showing for Canada tonight. We're very proud, as always, of our Canadian team and appreciative of you all tuning in and listening to us. We will wait for the score of Kevin Litwin.
And the current standings in the all-around after Subdivision 3, Manrique Lardouet stays in first place with an 86.699. Moving into second place after this subdivision, Xiaoru Tseng of China, 86.297. And also from this rotation, Brittany, you want to take that?
David Beliowski.
There you go.
go.
With an 85.839. And behind him, a surprise in the all-around, Kenzo Shirai with an 85.697.
An 11.9334 for Kevin Litwin. Unfortunately, that is not enough to make finals, but we are very proud of our men's team tonight for a strong showing.
Some great performances.
Absolutely, and I can see Gymnastics Canada on the rise in the men's gymnastics team.
Yeah, absolutely. And all the fans were great tonight. A lot of young hopefuls in the audience. I know that there's a national team camp that they specifically brought all of our hopefuls out to watch and cheer and support on these guys. And we saw some great performances, some things to work on, but all in all, great representation for the country.
Absolutely. I think they're keen on continuing and moving on from here. So, again, thank you so much for watching. This is Brittany Rogers.
I'm Cody Casey. Merci de voir la compétition, le championnat du monde en artistique gymnastique en Montréal.
We will see you tomorrow, 7 p.m.